What would you do if your entire identity was built on never needing help, and then your body forced you to ask for it? This is Sara Johnson's story. And before you judge her, ask yourself, have you ever refused help because you thought needing it made you weak? Pushed yourself past your limits to prove you could handle everything alone? Because Sara built an empire on fierce independence. 500,000 followers watched her conquer every challenge, until the day her body said no more. Sara Johnson's thumb hovered over the post button. 500,000 followers. Another viral video ready to drop. She leaned back in her wheelchair at her perfectly adapted standing desk, the morning light streaming through her apartment windows. The video was perfect. Tight editing, inspirational music, her voiceover confident and defiant. Another independence challenge conquered. Another proof that disability didn't mean limitation. If you're not willing to do it yourself, then what's the point? Sara recorded into her ring light. Independence isn't just freedom, it's dignity, and I won't let anyone take that from me. At 24, Sara had become the face of fierce independence in the disability community. A car accident at 19 put her in a wheelchair, but she refused to let it define her limitations. Instead, she turned it into her platform. Her viral videos showed everything, transferring from wheelchair to car driver's seat, smooth, practiced, powerful, cooking elaborate meals in her adapted kitchen, reaching high shelves with custom tools she'd installed herself, wheeling up steep outdoor ramps, arms pumping with strength, speaking at rallies with a megaphone, fist raised, voice demanding equal access. Every video carried the same message. I don't need help. The comments poured in. You're such an inspiration. This is what strength looks like. Independence queen. Brands reached out for partnerships. Speaking invitations flooded her inbox. Sara Johnson wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. Good morning, warriors. Today I'm showing you how I installed my own adaptive kitchen equipment. No contractor needed, no help required. Let's go. Her followers loved it. The algorithm loved it. Every video of her doing things alone got more views than the last. The harder the task, the bigger the response. Sara had found her formula. Proof of independence equals validation equals worth. But there was something Sara wasn't showing her followers. Her phone buzzed with another text from her physical therapist. Sara glanced at the screen, then swiped the notification away. Sara, your shoulders are showing severe strain. You need to reduce repetitive transfers. Another notification. If you don't slow down, you're risking permanent nerve damage. Another. Please take this seriously. Sara's hand, wearing a wrist brace she carefully cropped out of every photo, dismissed them all. On her desk, partially hidden behind her laptop, sat 3 prescription bottles. Pain medication, anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxers. She pushed them aside and pulled up her content calendar. 10 videos scheduled for this week. A speaking engagement on Saturday, a furniture assembly challenge she'd promised her followers, and a physical therapy appointment she'd already rescheduled twice. I've got this, she muttered to herself, rubbing her opposite shoulder. I've always got this. The behind-the-scenes footage told a different story. Between takes of her assembling flat-pack furniture, Sara winced, massaging her shoulders. Between shots of her hauling groceries, she leaned against her car, catching her breath, arms trembling. After filming herself wheeling uphill for miles, she sat in her wheelchair for 20 minutes, unable to move, waiting for the burning to subside. But she cut all of that out. Her audience saw effortless strength. They didn't see the price she paid for it. Sara, let me help you carry your groceries this week. Just once, please. Lily leaned across the cafe table, concern etched on her face. She'd known Sara since before the accident. They'd been friends for 6 years, and she'd watched Sara transform from someone who used to ask for help without shame into someone who couldn't accept it without feeling defeated. Sara pulled back slightly, her body language defensive. Thanks, Lily, but I've got it. I always do. That's what I'm worried about, Lily said quietly, glancing at Sara's wrist braces. You're not superhuman, Sara. Nobody is. I never said I was superhuman. Sara's jaw tightened. I'm just independent. There's a difference. Is there? Lily's voice was gentle but firm. Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you're destroying yourself trying to prove something nobody's asking you to prove. Sara looked away. You don't understand. Then help me understand. But Sara couldn't, or wouldn't, because admitting she was struggling meant admitting she'd been wrong. That all those videos, all those speeches about the power of independence, maybe they'd gone too far. That night, alone in her apartment, Sara allowed herself to feel what she couldn't show online. She removed her wrist braces slowly, revealing red marks and visible swelling. Ice packs and heating pads covered her couch. Her laptop glowed with a half-finished video edit. Independence Challenge Day 30. Her shoulders burned. Her wrists ached. Every transfer felt heavier than it used to. But she had 5 more videos to film this week. She couldn't slow down now. I can handle this, she whispered to herself, massaging her shoulder with shaking hands. I just need to push through, like always. But her body was trying to tell her something she wasn't ready to hear. Sara's phone calendar told the story she wouldn't admit. Every hour scheduled, every task solo, every offer of help declined with the same automatic response. I've got it. 6 a.m., gym upload. 8 a.m., grocery haul video. 11 a.m., speaking event. 2 p.m., furniture assembly shoot. 5 p.m., PT appointment. Rescheduled again. 8 p.m., edit and post. 47 unread messages from concerned followers. 12 missed calls from Lily. 5 urgent messages from her physical therapist. Sara scrolled past it all and added another task. 10 p.m., Independence Challenge, Week 5 planning. Just one more video, then she'd rest. That's what she'd been telling herself for 3 years. Tuesday morning started like any other. Sara wheeled into her perfectly adapted bathroom, grab bars installed exactly where she needed them, transfer bench positioned beside the shower, non-slip mats covering every surface. She'd done this transfer 1,000 times. Wheelchair to shower bench. Muscle memory. Routine. Safe. Okay, let's make this quick, she said to herself, checking her phone one more time. I've got 3 videos to shoot today. She turned on the shower, positioned her wheelchair, gripped the grab bar, and began to transfer. And then her shoulder gave out. One moment she was moving, the next she was on the cold tile floor. Pain exploded through her left shoulder and arm. Her wheelchair had tipped, just out of reach. Her phone was on the counter, too far away. The shower ran uselessly in the background, steam beginning to fill the bathroom. Sara tried to push herself up. Her arm buckled. She tried to drag herself toward her phone. Her body wouldn't cooperate. She tried to right her wheelchair. She couldn't reach it. No, not like this. Please, not like this. But her body had finally had enough, and this time, there was no editing out the reality, no cutting to a triumphant ending, just Sara, alone, on a bathroom floor, unable to help herself. The morning light shifted. Golden sunrise became harsh midday glare through the frosted window. Sara managed to turn off the shower by stretching until her muscles screamed, but she couldn't do anything else. She tried calling out. Her apartment was too well insulated. Nobody heard. She tried moving again. Her body refused. The clock on the wall showed 11:47 a.m. She'd fallen at 7:30. 4 hours. Alone. Helpless. Everything she'd built her identity on shattered on cold bathroom tiles. The humiliation burned hotter than the pain. All those videos proving she didn't need help, all those speeches about independence, all those followers who saw her as unstoppable, and here she was, stopped. Lily, she whispered finally, defeated. I need to call Lily. Her phone was 3 feet away. It took Sara 20 minutes of painful dragging across the floor to reach it. Her hands shook as she found Lily's contact. The call connected. Sara, what's wrong? At the sound of Lily's voice, Sara broke, not from the physical pain, but from the unbearable weight of having to say the words she'd avoided for years. I fell. I can't get up. I need help. Lily, I need help. I'm coming right now. Stay on the phone with me. I'm 5 minutes away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Through the phone, Sara could hear car doors, traffic, Lily running. You have nothing to be sorry for. I'm almost there. Just breathe, okay? I've got you. But Sara couldn't stop crying, because for the first time in years, she'd admitted the truth. She couldn't do it alone. When Lily burst through the bathroom door, Sara was still on the floor, still crying, still holding her injured arm close to her body. Lily dropped to her knees beside her, without hesitation. No judgment in her eyes. No, I told you so. Just love and immediate action. I've got you, Lily said softly, carefully checking her arm, supporting her back. You're okay. I've got you now. Sara buried her face in Lily's shoulder and sobbed. I can't believe Why did I wait so long? Because you're human, Lily said simply, and asking for help is scary. But you did it. That's what matters. For the first time in years, Sara let herself be held, let herself be helped, let herself be vulnerable without seeing it as defeat. It felt like falling, and it felt like relief. The emergency room doctor confirmed what Sara had been ignoring: severe rotator cuff damage requiring immediate surgery. Years of overuse without rest had created tears that wouldn't heal on their own. You're lucky you didn't do permanent damage, the surgeon told her. Another few months like this, and you might have lost significant mobility. Sara lay in her hospital bed, arm in a sling, staring out the window. Lily sat in the chair beside her, scrolling through her phone, but present, just there, not trying to fix anything, just being. On Sara's bedside table, flowers from Lily, get well cards from followers, her own phone face down and silenced. I don't know how to do this, Sara said quietly. Just exist, without proving something. You start by just being here. That's enough. Is it? Sara's voice was small. I built my entire life on being strong, independent, needing no one. What am I without that? Human, Lily said simply. You're human, like the rest of us. Recovery forced Sara into stillness. For weeks, she couldn't perform even the simplest tasks alone. Eating, dressing, reaching for a cup of water, everything required help. At first, she sank into bitterness. She refused most visitors, turned off her phone, couldn't bear to look at her social media. The girl who never needed help now needed help for everything. But one morning, sitting by her window, she noticed something. 2 small sparrows on the tree branch just outside. One was bringing twigs, flying back and forth. The other was arranging them, weaving them into place, building a nest, together. Sara found herself watching them for hours, how they worked in tandem, how one bird would bring materials while the other stayed to build, how they called to each other, coordinating their efforts, how they took turns sitting on the nest, taking turns flying for food. Neither bird tried to do it all alone. They knew survival wasn't about independence. It was about partnership. They don't do it alone, Sara whispered, a realization dawning. They were never meant to do it alone. Sara picked up her phone for the first time in weeks, but she didn't film herself. She filmed the birds. She started a journal, sketching the nest's progress, writing observations. Day 5, watching how cooperation keeps them alive, how asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. She started creating short, quiet videos. No performance, no proof of strength, just honest reflection. I spent years proving I didn't need help, and I almost destroyed myself in the process. What if I was wrong about everything? What if the strongest thing we can do isn't refusing help? It's knowing when to ask for it. The comments that came in were different this time. This is beautiful. Thank you for being real. I needed to hear this. Some followers were confused. Where are the challenges? What happened to you? This isn't what I followed you for. But Sara didn't respond defending herself. She just kept watching, learning, growing. I think I need to tell them the truth, Sara said one afternoon, sitting on her couch with Lily, both holding tea. Her arm was still in a sling, but she was more present than Lily had seen her in years. Her laptop sat open between them, showing drafts of a new video. The apartment was messier than before, lived in, human, real. About all of it, Sara continued. The fall, the surgery, what I've learned, that independence isn't what I thought it was. Lily set down her tea. Only when you're ready, but I think they need to hear it. Not just your followers, everyone who's struggling with the same thing. What if they're disappointed? Sara's voice was vulnerable. What if I let them down? You won't, Lily said firmly, because the truth is always more powerful than performance. And vulnerability, that's the real strength you've been looking for all along. Sara looked at her laptop, then back at Lily. Will you help me write it? Lily smiled. I thought you'd never ask. The video Sara uploaded 2 weeks later wasn't polished. No ring light, no perfect setup, just Sara sitting by her window in natural light, arms still in a sling, speaking from her heart. I called this video The Myth of Independence because I spent 5 years of my life building an empire on a lie. She told them everything: the bathroom fall, the surgery, the years of hidden pain, the wrist braces she cropped out of photos, the hundreds of offers of help she'd rejected because she thought needing support made her weak. Independence isn't refusing help. It's having the power to ask for it. It's knowing your limits. It's building communities of care instead of mountains of pride. And I almost lost everything before I learned that. The video went viral. Not because it was perfect, because it was honest. Comments poured in. I'm crying. Thank you for this. I've been destroying myself the same way. This changed my perspective completely. Some followers left, but thousands more came, not for inspiration porn, but for real talk about disability, vulnerability, and what strength actually means. Sara's mission changed. She stopped filming herself conquering challenges alone and started filming conversations about interdependence. She began consulting on accessible design, not just physical ramps and grab bars, but emotional and social accessibility, help networks, shared caregiving, community support systems. She started a program pairing disabled individuals to support each other, because sometimes the help you need isn't from able-bodied people trying to fix you. It's from people who understand. She partnered with Lily to create workshops on asking for and offering help without shame on either side. Accessibility, Sara explained in one of her new videos, isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about ensuring everyone has access to support. The strongest communities aren't filled with people who never need help. They're filled with people who know how to ask for it and give it freely. 6 months after the fall, Sara sat in a park, wheelchair positioned on an accessible pathway, filming the sparrows. Again, but this time, Lily sat beside her, helping hold an extra camera angle, passing Sara her water bottle before she had to ask. Just being present. The birds flew together against a clear sky. Sara and Lily worked together. 2 friends, collaborating, not because Sara couldn't do it alone, but because together was better. Sara paused recording and looked at Lily. They shared a genuine smile, not for the camera, just for each other. You know what I realized? Sara said softly. What's that? Even the strongest wings still need the wind. Thank you for joining me for another story here on The Turning Point. Sara's journey reminds us that strength isn't found in never needing help. It's found in having the courage to ask for it. The deepest form of independence isn't doing everything alone. It's having the power to choose when to be vulnerable, when to accept support, and when to build community instead of walls. Have you ever refused help because you thought needing it made you weak? Maybe you pushed yourself past your limits, believing that struggle proved your worth. Maybe you dismissed someone's offer of support with, "I've got it," even when you were drowning. Or maybe you've been on the other side, watching someone you love destroy themselves trying to prove they don't need anyone. What would happen if the next time someone offered help, instead of automatically refusing, you paused and asked, what would it mean to accept this? What if independence looked less like isolation and more like having the freedom to choose interdependence? Maybe you're Sara, building your identity on self-sufficiency and realizing it's become a prison. Or maybe you're Lily, watching someone you care about suffer needlessly because they can't admit vulnerability. Or maybe you're somewhere in between, learning that asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. But here's what I want you to consider. What if the strongest thing you could do isn't proving you can handle everything alone, but admitting when you can't? What if your obsession with independence is actually cutting you off from the very connections that make life worth living? If Sara's story moved you, I'd love to hear about a time when you finally asked for help and it changed everything. Or maybe you're learning right now that accepting support doesn't diminish your strength, it multiplies it. Leave a comment below and share your story. Your turning point might be exactly what someone struggling alone needs to hear today. And if you're ready for another powerful transformation story about discovering that what we think makes us strong is actually breaking us, check out our next video. We drop a new story every week that proves strength isn't found in isolation. It's found in connection, vulnerability, and the courage to be human. Don't forget to like this video if Sara's journey made you reconsider what real independence means, and subscribe for more stories where self-sufficiency meets human reality. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a turning point that could transform how you see strength and vulnerability. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is reach out our hand and let someone take it. I'll see you in the next video.